Mm-mm. So I'm recording, and that was such a good rant. Oh well, I'll have notes from the AI that'll be in there, but my fault. But that being said, I actually put together or pulled up the shadow work slide. So that's kind of like the segue of where I want to go with this. And you know, I'll bring them up just so you can see them because I feel that they're super powerful. And the key thing for me is that you've really got to dig into it because it is not easy. Shadow work is probably the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, except maybe deployments and stuff like that. But that's kind of they're two different eggs. But I integrated mine with my meditation and my spirituality. So when I was building this with previously Gemini, now it's within my Claude. I was actually able to build this out, and I wanted it to be because I'm a tactile, visual, audible learner. Like I have to have all three, otherwise I'm useless. But when I said that I needed to find the shadow work, I did the research on that and consolidated 79 different sources and different points of view and came up with a 90-day process, 12 weeks. And the hardest part is the descent, which if you look at the top left corner, phase one is the descent. And you've probably heard me say these multiple times, the different questions and the different weeks. Um, and to walk through it one by one, I'm not going to do. You can do that all on your own. This is inside the being pillar under the meditation, and you can specifically find it under shadow work. So all of this PowerPoint is there for you to see. And the last one that I closed out on, which it's a pain in the ass. I mean, it's hard. Show me this sadness through your eyes, my creator. What divine strength have you hidden for me within it? That's the first time I've been able to read that and not choke up, which is interesting. Huh. Okay. The next part with the auditory visual is the two columns. What is my view of what that looks like, and then what I believe God's view of that looks like, right? So it's how do I know what his view is? But just think about it, the divine knowledge that we would assume to be expected, right? Now, the purpose of it is to change your relationship. I'm trying to read it, sorry. I don't want to really move the camera, but I'm going to move the camera real quick. To change your relationship with the one emotion from one conflict to one of divine curiosity and purpose. So, what is that? What is your purpose? What is my purpose? Well, right now, what I'm building through Veteran Warrior Rebirth, I truly believe that it's my purpose. But getting there is it's difficult because where do you go with it, right? Because it involves communication, public outreach, cold calling, warm calling, uh, tagging people with a text and saying, "Hey, I've been thinking about something. I want to get your feedback," and then try and start a conversation. Well, obviously, we know I can run a conversation. I can ruin a conversation at the same time too. But again, see how so I caught myself run and ruin. It's one letter difference, but that's one of those beliefs that I have to have because I know once the conversation starts and I bring you into the conversation, it's a two-way street. That's why we got two of these and one of these, right? So I have a feeling that I might be able to close out week 3. Ooh. So like I said, this is a 12-week program that got put together, and I started it in the beginning of March. So that's how long it's taken me to get past week 3. I'm not going to jump into week 4, but we're going to move to there, just to see where it's at, right? So I dare to ask, is this wall I call strength truly honoring you, or is it limiting the man you destined me to be? That's the first time I read that. I will tell you this. Damn it. So week 3 and 4 actually are the same, but on a different avenue. Wow. So this kind of reflects to, this is my interpretation. The wall, the fortress, the prison. Okay, there it is. Shit. Okay. A lot of language in this one. Sorry if it offends you. Grow up. Suck it up. So to directly and radically challenge the core belief that has defined your emotional life. Okay. So I'm still working on the fortress and the prison. Like I told you, this shadow work is not easy, you know, just to run through just the descent. This is just to go down to break it down. And it does. It breaks you down and it makes you think about all of the different crap that's buried in there that are what are limiting beliefs. And to refresh that, those are the things that you've learned from the 11 million bits of information that you've taught yourself to filter out to 128 from the time you were 0 to 7 years old. Now, I heard somebody recently say 0 to 9 and 0 to 11. Those are different social constructs based off of the information that they were presenting. But think about that, every time you transition into something, you adjust your filters. So as you're changing your filters, I mean, what are you going to do? You adapt, right? So this is interesting. 3 and 4, very impactful. Now, as we go down into phase 2, which is the revelation, Father, burn away the world's definition of a strong man. Well, that's a great question. You know what? Think about this. Go and drop a comment in the chat. What's the world's definition of a strong man? Is it sitting here and taking abuse from everyone around you, absorbing the rejection and driving on regardless, sucking it up and not showing your emotions just because it makes you look weak? That's a lot that we've been taught. Like one of the big things now is, I'm going to go a little sideways on this right now, but how the women's empowerment movement that has happened like over the last 7, 8 years and how much that's affecting what a strong man really is. And people are worried, oh, well, there's no good men out there. Well, maybe you should do some reevaluation, just saying. There's a lot of good men out there. They just don't want to deal with the bullshit. You gotta, I look at it like this. I know the value I bring. I know the love that I have in my heart that I can't wait to share with whomever is the next person in my life, whoever that is. God help them, because they're going to be surprised. They're not going to know what's coming. They have no idea what's coming. However, what value do they bring for me? This is another unconscious thing. So all right, here's an exercise. All right, we got it. Everybody, here's an exercise for you. Grab a pen and paper. I'll give you a couple seconds. 10, 5, 1, you're ready. Here we go. Check this out. What is your perfect person? Okay, I don't need to know the answers. You do this for you. Now, remember, here's the key critical thing. Do not write down, I don't want A, B, C, D, whatever. For instance, I did this a while ago as an exercise. What I want is somebody who loves me for me, flaws and all. And I'll be honest with you, I got a few, but we'll talk about that another time. I want to have the person that loves me for who I am, flaws and all. I want someone to be intimate and understand the problems and issues that I have and have experienced to help me work through them, not abuse me because of it. I want someone who talks about happiness and a future and what's next, not thinking about what has happened or a previous experience or whatever. I don't, it's all behind us at this point. Live in the present moment. I want someone who can live in the present moment and think about not only me, but themselves, to improve themselves. What's next on their list to improve themselves? So just as a perspective, okay? I'm not going to hold you to any accountability to show me what you're doing, but you got to do this, because if you can't do it, that's a problem. Because you have to go inside. What you're doing at the same time as you're finding and telling yourself out loud what you want. Unconscious is listening 24/7. He's like, damn it, now I got to. So while you're walking down the street, minding your own business, and you're looking at people here, there, everywhere, somebody catches your eye. Unconsciously, you are evaluating. Do they fit all that criteria? Nope. Three no checks in those boxes. Boop, goes to the back. All the time. It's always happening, whether you know it or not. If you take the time and invest in getting, if you go and get one of those soulmate sketches, who knows? Do they work? I don't know. I got one. It looks like a couple people I know, but I wouldn't even dare approach them. So, so be it. But think about it like that, okay? So we'll move on from there. Just gives you an idea. And then you got to carry your single truth that emerges in that card, right? Unconscious, it's driving all the time. It's just your conscious mind is trying to keep up with it. Okay. Week 6, break my heart for what breaks yours. Now, if you're reading the Bible a lot and you understand what he tells us point blank, what breaks his heart, I don't need to I don't need to elaborate on that. But reveal the true cost of the pride, my pride that has kept me from Christ-like connection. And that's one of the big things, inner Christos, inner being, self-love. Back to the beginning, right? So get rid of the internal identity. You need to have that impact. Empathy is important. Your empathy is for others, but most especially for yourself. Again, your own self-love. Week 7, unmask the lie that my vulnerability is weakness. Show me how it can be a testament to your power perfected in my weakness. I will have to dig into that a little bit more because that's short and fast, and I'm not really understanding it. Oh, so between week 7 and 8, I had a little confusion, and I said, hey, give me some breakdown on this. And literally what the incantation is to say it out loud, right? You're going through your own spiritual warfare. Again, it says deep-rooted lie, which that deep-rooted lie is your limiting belief, which has been holding you back. Think about that. What's holding you back right now? What's the number one thing that's keeping you back? Are you afraid? What are you afraid of? Are you looking to expand? Probably. Are you looking to do better? Do you feel like you're stuck where you're at? There is a saying called no fear, right? It's a clothing line. Well, there's also the one word fear, and people have put that to acronyms: face everything and rise. I use the whole thing: no fear, never observe, face everything and rise! Exclamation point. I will tell you, I'm not going to lie. I've been holding myself back. So, As I'm putting this out here on June 2nd at 6:22 p.m. 2026. That's a lot of sixes and twos. Ooh, I got to do some math. Hold on. Let me write that down before I forget. 622, 62, 26. And I don't know if you're into numerology and all that. I'm starting to learn that stuff. But anyway, I digress. Stand in your power. So the incantation is to let it out, verbalize it. Unconscious, conscious. Distractor, corrector. Okay. I keep pointing higher and lower just to give you some difference in perspective, right? Conscious mind's always up front, always at the forefront. The conscious mind runs this freaking thing, right? It's going to make you question a lot of stuff. I'm not going to lie to you. It will challenge your core beliefs. You have to say it in order to fix it. If you don't say it, you will never fix it. Even if you mumble it in your mind, you're reinforcing it. You must say it out loud, the thing that you want to break open and get rid of. Okay. And again, the key thing is drive forward. Remember the obstacle. Don't hit the wall and back up. Don't retreat. Don't walk away. Because guess what? It's going to be twice as hard, right? Now we're starting to pile on top of the pillars and all of the different sessions that I've been putting together. All you have to do is go back and watch any one of these weekly videos, and it's under the tab weekly videos, and you'll see that as this is being built, more and more information is helping compound the power and strength behind you to go through that obstacle. And I'm here for you. Reach out to me. I've been more than happy to drag you along, kicking and screaming if you want, but it's up to you. You have to want it. You have to do it. I can't do it for you. I want it for you more than you want it for you right now, but you have to want it. As we move into week 8, per this schedule, if I saw myself as you see me, fully known and perfectly loved, what fear would I drop today? I can answer that now. However, read the footnote down there. If incantation is warfare, this is intimacy, because you are aligning side by side, hand in hand with God. If you remember the footprints in the sand, okay? When you're at your lowest and you always see that one set of footprints, guess what? They ain't yours. Just saying. Just saying. It's got to be vulnerable. And that's one of the key things I struggle with, because I always was taught that that is a weakness. Got reinforced for 20 plus years in the military. You know, you got to be strong for the guys. You got to be able to stand your ground. You're better than them. Other services, just saying. You say, but see, ta-da. Anyway, if you're new to the game, hey, you get it. We all bust each other's chops. But think about this. You know, you have to be vulnerable. And then me sitting here and doing this every week, 1 or 30 people on here. So I'm showing my vulnerability to the best of my ability. So you got to open that door. Reach up to the big man while you're doing your meditation, prayer at night. I actually had a friend reach out to me today that said he's changing a lot of stuff in his life, and he's actually started praying at night. I was like, good for you, man. I was like, you know, because he reached out. He sent me 2 texts that kind of concerned me. So I reached out to him and said, hey, what's going on? He let me know what was going on. And then, then he sent me that. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. I was like, you bringing the wife and kids in on the same prayer time? Or are you doing it individually? Or how you doing it? He's like, I will. They're not ready yet. I was like, no better time than the present. So did you catch that? That's the obstacle. I'll get to it later. Well, it's going to be twice as hard. I'll bring him in later. Okay, maybe he's working through some of his own personal stuff. I don't know. But the sooner that you go together as a team, which is a great segue for next week. Yes. The balance pillar, your family, your friends, your relationships, your children, all of the communication that has to stay together. Start as soon as you can, right? As soon as you see the problem, address it. I mean, you cut yourself and you start bleeding, right? Are you just going to stare at it? You're going to put a band-aid on it or a tourniquet, depending on the type of cut. Or are you just going to sit there and just let it bleed out? I mean, think about it. It's common sense at this point. But moving into the commission, this is where, as a business person, I'll call this scaling or a completion of work, and you're starting to expand. So week 9, 10, 11, and 12, which after getting past week 3, I think I might be able to get, okay, I've been told June's going to be very busy. Okay. So I guess the next couple weeks, I'm probably going to blow right through them because I've gone through the hardest part. Because going down into that descent, it's hard. It's really brutal. So many emotions come up. And it's like stuff that you don't even think about or haven't even thought about, or it's been buried so long that a trigger pops up. I'll give you an example. The keynote that I did at the retreat, found out that I was the first presenter because, things happen, and I was not expecting to be the opener. Well, everything that I had prepared, I had to change everything over. Now, mind you, I am just one of multiple presenters that were there. The owner of it had to redo the whole entire conference the week before. So just take that into consideration. But we hit it head on. It was very successful. I had a really good time, but it brought up a lot for me, a lot of emotional trauma and all of the things that I have been repressing for such a long time. Again, saying about the self-loathing for so long probably buried a lot of shit. Not probably. I know for a fact it did. It's just now I'm taking the time to really work on myself and open it up because if you know me, if you don't know me, you will know me because I am not going to sit here and do all this work and not become an influence. And I'm not talking like Robert Kiyosaki or somebody like that. I don't need a gazillion followers. I need the right 100 followers who are ready to go on this journey. Because I tell you, when I sit down and we do the one-on-one strategic planning, we're putting together a program. Going to be coming out with it in the next week. Baseline. We're talking crazy numbers. But I'm looking for founders that are interested in coming in, and we'll sit down and talk about that at a significantly discounted rate so that we can go through this and prove that it works. Because I'll tell you what, if you can afford 8 weeks for a small sum of money, Monday, it would well be worth the investment for yourself because it'll be one-on-one with me, easy access. Plus, I have so many people in my network that bring so much more to the team, the program that I'm building. Because I have American medical experts, they reached out to me and saw what I was doing, and they like what I have, and they want me to be one of their affiliates. So I have people to help you get to your higher rating as needed. I have insurance people, multiple insurance people. I have a woman who's a lovely sweetheart who handles kids that are growing out of foster care. Another woman who handles housing for NFL people, building a nonprofit to help homeless veterans. And the list goes on and on and on and on. And I can't wait to bring that to everyone because it's all coming full circle, which is crazy. It's been a while. It took a lot of work, a lot of networking, a lot of communication, learning a lot about myself, learning a lot about other people and how to communicate with them and use the right vocabulary. So I want to bring that to you. That way you get as much free information from me that I can provide that I guarantee is going to help you. You're going to improve yourself. And I can only give free for so long, but it'll give you the freedom and the time to assess yourself. That way you can have the freedom with your family. You can guarantee things for them. And then you'll have a new lifestyle with all of the freedom that you can provide for your family. With that being said, if there's anything else that anybody has, or you're looking to put I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm going to stop sharing. A comment in the chat box. Otherwise, I'm not going to hold you up. I ran my gums for 33 minutes. But that being said, please feel free to reach out to me any given point in time. Shoot me a text, drop a comment in the class, not the classroom, in the community. And you got to select a section. I found it easier if you're just using the general topics of discussion, but there are other ones that are in the other tabs. That's why I put them in there. And that's where you'll find the individual weekly videos. So dig into that and watch them. I've been doing them for a while now. So they compound. They might sound similar to each other, but every one of them's different, extraordinarily different. But that being said, have a great week. I will have a Q&A Friday at 12:30. Please feel free, reach out. And if you feel like you're going into crisis, don't hesitate. 988 is for everybody. Doesn't matter who you are. And this program, it's for everyone. So if any of this resonates with you, or if you think that you know somebody that that will resonate with this, have them join. Let me know. I'll get you a link and I'll push it out to you. That way you can get your affiliate pay-in. Oh, yeah. I'm working on it too. I'll be getting my affiliates, and I'm not calling them affiliates. I'm going to be calling them ambassadors. And that is also going to be a special treat for you if you go that route with me. So let's make it happen. Take care. Have a great night and have an exceptional week. See yous.